recently about my passions in life, and definitely animal rights, 100%. For some reason, I've always thought that I have to justify what I want to do in life, and that animal rights isn't a just enough cause, or that there are already enough people fighting for animal rights. But I've realised that other passions in my life that include writing, poetry, songs, I play guitar, acting, and these are all also very important spiritually and emotionally, but I've realised that not in connection to animal rights, these things feel slightly self-indulgent to me, and I don't have a cause, and I want to fight for a cause. And today's the day that I'm committing myself to fight for a cause that I believe anyone, when they come to terms with what they want to do in life, they believe they want to fight for animal rights, they need to find some kind of path in which to begin. And I think the vegan community on YouTube has been incredible in spreading the vegan message and making it more mainstream, which is happening today because of people like Fruity the Banana Girl. And whether or not you agree with her methods or not, essentially she is making the veganism method more imminent in society, and people are learning about it. Whether they are getting a bad or good impression at first hand, their mind is awoken to something. And that's what I want to do with this YouTube channel, awaken people's minds to issues and discuss with other vegans things that I want to bring up. And I was in English today, and me and my friend, who's also vegetarian, were reading each other's poems, and the last line in the poem was to do with cows in a field. And for some reason, I didn't even pay attention to this, but it sparked off a discussion about eggs. And I made a silly remark, just a silly side note, I didn't mean to go into it, about chicken eggs being actually chicken periods. Many of you that are watching this will know what I'm talking about. Basically, when a chicken lays an egg, that it's not a fertilised egg. So essentially it's like a woman who ovulates and releases an egg that is not fertilised and does not turn into a child. So essentially eating a chicken's period. And also it comes out of the same hole, chicken, and does not have a separate butt or vagina, so it does the same hole. It happens to be that my teacher and this writer actually worked on a farm, and he said, yes, I know all about that. Whereas two other girls were cringing, like, that's so gross. And my friend was really passionate about saying, how can you eat eggs, look at all the veins on the eggs, it's disgusting. I was laughing because it was very silly in the context of it, and it was very awkward too, a very awkward discussion. But it's good to have these discussions, because maybe it plants a seed in someone's mind, who knows, maybe my teacher started to think about it after today's discussion, who knows. And he said that he actually has broken chicken's neck before. And that I asked him what he had to do. First, he began by talking about rearing sheep, so like shaving their fur. It's interesting that he chose to tell me this first, and he didn't disclose the information that actually he was participating in the killing of animals. And then I said to him, oh, did you have to kill any animals? And he said, yes, I actually broke chickens' necks. And he's quite a rational man, he's not a romanticist, quite rational and logical. And I said to him, well, how did you do it? Now, instead of answering me how he did it emotionally, he started by saying, well, I took the chicken by its two legs, I crushed them together, held its neck, and just snapped it till it stopped moving. I was on the verge of tears. I was so disturbed by the fact that this intelligent, creative man had the capability in him to kill another life, and my heart just sank. And then I said to him, no, I mean emotionally, how did you do it? How did you allow yourself? How could you gust up the emotion to actually kill another life? And he said, well, I just did it. I didn't even think about it. I just did it. I was absolutely shocked. I couldn't understand how someone who's supposedly supposed to be sensitive, because if you're an artist and a teacher of the arts, I would assume that one has to be sensitive and in touch with their emotions, but to be so cut off emotionally and distant from what you're actually doing disturbed me. And I still like this man very much. I still have respect for my English teacher, because I understand that people have different circumstances, and maybe he grew up on this farm. I don't know how he became a farmer. Why? Was it for money? I don't know the backstory. But essentially what disturbed me is that if it was the case that he had no emotion, or whether he was just saying that he had no emotion because he consciously decided not to think about it and just do it as a business thing, because that I can understand. But then this launched a discussion about whether it's human nature to kill. I've always thought that it isn't. I've never thought that humans should kill. Notice today, after this discussion, 3 people, the majority out of us, agree that it is in human nature to kill another life. And that it's actually human nature to kill each other, to kill humans. So that justifies wars, that justifies massacres, that justifies the Holocaust. It's natural. I can't agree with that. Even if you give me facts about how we used to be cavemen and how we are like the animal kingdom and it's about survival of the fittest, I still can't accept that humans are in the same wavelength as barbaric animals. The people who justified this in my class, including the teacher, said, well, we're like animals. It's in our nature to kill and fight for the survival of our species, even if it means killing each other. And I said, well, if we're saying that we're the same as animals, then how come humans justify eating meat and justify using animals for our benefit by saying that we're actually above animals? Now, why do humans say we're above animals? Supposedly, we have deeper emotions. Now, that's not true. There's been lots of research to show that dolphins feel incredible pain when they're separated from their children, and if you watch the documentary on SeaWorld, I think it's called, I can't remember, I will put it in the link below. It's absolutely amazing. It's about the exploitation of orcas in SeaWorld, and it's absolutely appalling. But they actually respond awfully and they cry for weeks and mourn the loss of their children. So, if anything, sometimes animals feel more deeply than humans, I would say, in this respect. If we think that we are above animals in the hierarchy, so humans, animals, we justify this by saying, supposedly, that we have a higher consciousness, that we have a concept of morality, which animals don't have. We have something that is above our needs of survival, which includes the fact that we have institutions, we have hospitals, we care for each other, we have a legal system. Maybe animals have these forms, but we haven't seen animals creating, sure they create nests, but we have not seen them create cities, huge cities, countries. Maybe they do, we don't see them, but I'm just saying on a broad level, lots of humans, I don't know if I agree with this, but lots of humans see ourselves as above animals. Yet, we say that even though we're above animals, we're like animals. We kill. So, we don't have the best of both worlds. We're civilized, so we're above animals, but we're also just like animals, and we kill each other. But then the question comes into play, what animal are we like? Sure, we're descended from apes. Lots of apes are vegetarians, by the way. Lots of apes are carnivores and they do eat meat, but not as much as humans do today. Our intestines are too long to digest them correctly, and our teeth are not. They're herbivore teeth. Look, they're herbivore teeth. We don't have any canines. You're saying these are canines? That's pathetic. How are you going to rip open any animal with these canine teeth, supposedly? Look at a cow, same teeth. Look at a lion, very different. Very different. So then, what animal are we like? If we're like lions, which we're not, then carnivores and we kill each other, we have a drive to kill. But cows, elephants, very peaceful animals. I don't see them running around killing each other or killing other beasts unless it's for their protection. That's very different. It's not an urge to kill for the sake of killing. What humans are doing by eating meat is killing for the sake of killing, for our greed. No other animal does that. Animals that kill in the kingdom do it for survival. So I'm just curious as to anyone who's listening and watching this video, if you think it's in human nature to kill. And I know that wars, people say that we have an urge to kill. But think about this. A girl in my class said the only reason we don't run around killing each other when we feel like it is because of the law. Because if the law stops us, we are put into prison and we're fine. That's the only reason. Then how come people are killing each other today still? What about mothers in the news that we hear about that kill their children? Surely they know that the law's going to put them to jail. It's possibly a psychopathic drive which is unstoppable and an urge that cannot be stopped, an urge that has to be fulfilled to kill, despite the legal system being in place. If it was truly in human nature to kill each other and just run around stabbing each other for no apparent reason, just for the urge to kill someone, then we would do it despite the law. And the law wouldn't have been put into place, perhaps. So I'm curious as to this, because these 3 girls in my class and my teacher were shocked at the fact. But I said I have never had the urge to kill anything. Okay, maybe a mosquito, but I'm working on that. But I've never had the urge to kill anything, or any person for that matter. Yes, I felt anger, I felt horrible anger towards people, but I go for a run, I don't, or maybe the harshest thing, slap someone. I haven't even ever done that, but I wouldn't ever think of killing them. And these 3 girls, and the teacher said, yes, they have had the drive to kill someone before. And I think that's a mistaken interpretation of anger. And there are 2 very different emotions. The urge to kill, which is unstoppable, and which someone does anyway. And maybe revenge. Maybe if someone killed my mother, I'd want to kill them. But that's for protection. That's not just for the sake of it. Which is very different to killing animals for the sake of it, for our own greed. I just wanted to put those thoughts out there and see what you think. See whether you think that it's actually in human nature to kill, because I'm unsure. I would like to think that it's not in our nature to kill and that we have evolved. There's a difference I would like to make explicit. Yes, as cavemen, perhaps we had an urge to kill, but again, I think that we've evolved. And many might say in the comments that we have evolved and our brains have developed because of meat. I cannot find an answer against this so far, but I think that today, even if we needed meat back then, which would have been a rarity, once a week probably maximum, but today, when we have so many varieties, especially in the West, in developed countries, so many varieties, pizzas, food, sushi, fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, so much, vegan lasagnas, vegan cheeses made from soybeans, vegan cutlets, vegan everything. You can find anything vegan. I would love to see someone ask me to make something vegan and see if I can't do it. I will take that challenge. I would just like your views on whether we have developed and evolved to not have an urge to kill, and whether we had that before, whether we've ever had the desire to kill, whether religion, I haven't put religion into play, but I'm talking more about looking at scientific facts, trying to see whether we actually have a desire to kill, but we do see ourselves as maybe more spiritual beings and having souls. Some people believe that, some don't. It depends on your religious, spiritual beliefs. I just would hate to live in a world where people genuinely believe that the only reason they're not running around and killing each other is because of the law. Thank you very much, and see you maybe next Sunday.